Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Rush here, and today we'll be doing a little bit of a longer video today because we will be doing the top 10 best characters in One Punch Man the strongest, alright? So, this list may be surprising to you, or it may not be surprising to you. I mean, some of the characters might actually jump out at you a bit and be like, wow, I didn't actually think they were this good, or something along those lines. But yeah, they are indeed. Just in case, like if you're starting out and you're like, I kind of want to get some characters, or I just got a few different characters, or like yeah, if you're just starting out and you have limited tickets and you see characters constantly bouncing around and you don't know which ones to go for. I'm here to tell you which ones to go for. So, we'll start off this list at number 10. And this number 10 was kind of hard for me, but because there was a few characters that are like, should they make the list? Should they not? And I was playing out scenarios in my head on if they would win against each other in fights. And the character I chose for number 10 was actually Awakened Genos. And this is not because of his super cool stylish skin. This is for the fact that his basic is pretty strong. That's actually not the reason, but I did not realize that his basic actually did this much damage. But his ultimate is very strong. It does an insanely huge amount of damage, and especially when your Genos is boosted, it just completely wipes. Was I watching? I was on villains. Alright, let's go to heroes. Does this guy have Genos? No. Does this guy have Genos? No. Does this guy have Genos? I'm just looking for if anyone has Genos. Also, so this list is kind of based around, like, early game. Or no, it's mainly based around late game. But it's also based around, like, what the pros use. And, Genos has fallen out of popularity a lot recently. And he also doesn't have follow-up attacks, but you don't have to have follow-up attacks to be good. But yeah, so his ult just does huge damage, and it can completely wipe a team if he goes first and he's decently strong. He also has revive once, and it's basically a zombie man revive. When he gets back up, he does a lot of damage to everyone. So that's just basically like an extra ult off, which is just very strong overall. And he's also a high tech. There's actually not even that many high techs in the entire game. There's 5 high techs that are super rare. So very lacking class. Number 9, I have this may or may not be surprising. I think many of you will probably assume that they'd be higher, but I have Mosquito Girl as number 9. And I just think the characters above Mosquito Girl are better. Her attack is very strong. Her attack is very strong. Her ultimate's basically a one-shot kill on anyone, especially if you have the unless it's like a super tank or they have regeneration. It's basically a one-shot on anybody. Especially if you have her equipment, it's just even more strong. And she does 4 follow-ups per turn. That's pretty strong. Starting off, you don't even have to boost her that high because she gets the 4 off the rip. If you get her to this, she gets 5. It can start. This is insane. She gets 5 from here, but if you get this, it starts from turn 1. That is insane. That's insane. Starting from turn 1, so just right away from the beginning, she'll just start basic attacking every turn. It's very strong. But I think that the people above her are just, well, the next person I think is just a tad bit better, and then the people above that are just slowly better and better. So next I have may actually surprise a few of you, and a lot of you may disagree, but that's all right. The next person I actually have is Galewind. And a lot of you may be thinking, like, why is Galewind up here? That's very weird. But he has, so first we'll start off with just his basic. It's above average, 160 and internal injury, and an internal injury is 155. So his basic attack basically does 300%, which is very strong. 300 and what, 15? Yeah, 315%, that's pretty strong. Then we'll go to his passive, okay? His passive is a follow-up on anything for three times a turn. If you get him to 4, it's a follow-up on anything 4 times a turn, 100%. And his follow-ups also leave internal injury. So already he has a follow-up, and his follow-up also leaves them with internal injury. I'm like 99% sure it leaves him with internal injury. So that's already a lot. If you get him to awakened, it's 5 times per turn for 120. What do I even compare that to? That's basically, and it's attacking the same person every time. It's basically like a Speedosonic ultimate, an awakened Speedosonic ultimate on somebody. And that is very strong. And it targets the person with the highest attack. So it's basically chipping away at their strongest unit. And it's basically like a Boros ultimate, if I'm correct, and it does leave them with internal injury. It's basically a Boros ultimate. Now, the other main reason is because of his ultimate. If you have his upgraded ultimate, it stuns 3 people. Stunning 3 people is shutting off half of their team, and it costs no energy. You can just throw this out for free no matter what, and it will shut off half their team. Now that may not sound like, well, it does sound, for you guys that know, this sounds OP. But for you guys that don't know, this can win you any game ever. If you're fighting against someone that they have one really, really strong, like some people like to run Mosquito Girl, and they'll get her to like level 1, like 107, right? And like they'll have her completely maxed out, 5 stars, everything, and all the rest of their characters will be like level 50, right? And so you'll go in thinking you'll win, and then she wipes your whole team. But with Galewind, if he moves faster than her, he can stun her, and then you just win because you just have free attacks. You can't lifesteal, nothing. It can shut off any of their team members, because you can choose, unless they're in the back middle, you're guaranteed to turn off who you want to turn off. Or wait, unless they're in either of the middle spots, you're guaranteed. And if they're not in the middle spots, you still have a 66? No, it's a 75. You have a 75% chance to turn off who you're trying to turn off with the ultimate. And that's only if you have it awakened to 3 stars, but it is actually insane. But I think that the characters above Galewind are better. So the next character I have above Galewind is actually Watchdog Man. I don't know if people will agree with this or not. I don't know if people will think he's higher or lower, because I actually wasn't even thinking about him at all when I was making the list. And then I went to go look in here for inspiration, and I was like, so who do these guys use, right? And the top players actually all use Watchdog Man, and I didn't even think about that until I didn't even think about adding him until then. But when I did double check his stats, I do know why. So Watchdog Man, his basic attack is average. He recovers HP, which 30% max HP is a lot. His ultimate does good damage. It steals their energy, which is really good. Stealing energy is very good. It can shut down a lot of teams. And he gets extra energy. He has I believe he has something that takes away energy as well. Off rip, I don't remember what that is exactly. And he also has, he's a good tank because he gives everyone bonus HP, and he also has 2 revives, which is very strong. He's a very good tank. Um, tank meta tank meta is pretty good. Having like a tank top master in the front, with a watchdog man. Tank top master will just give those shields. Watchdog man will give those shields. Other characters have many other shields. Like All Might Mask can get that tankiness. He can use that tankiness very well. So getting all these shields and stuff, it's a very good meta. I've actually never seen anyone use Hellfire Flame, but I'm assuming with his max HP bonuses as well, it would go decently well with Watchdog Man's kit, and with his equipment, it's even better. With his 3-star keepsake, it's even better. So, next character I have, I think he may be interchangeable with the next character, but I actually have Awakened Child Emperor. His kit, his first ability is average. It's kind of below average at this point. His ultimate does a lot of damage. His ultimate does an insane amount of damage, and it also, when you have his keepsake, it does an incredible amount of damage. It can really control teams. It can completely destroy anyone that's, if you have your Child Emperor over leveled on somebody, it'll just completely destroy them. His passive, it's kind of just there. It grants immunity to side effects, or conditions, which is pretty strong if you put him in the front row or something like that. I guess it doesn't really matter what row you put him in, but it'll really help you against some of the other characters that have really strong effects, yeah? And then, I saw this as, this is pretty good. It's kind of just like, what's it called? It's kind of just like a Gale Wind. It'll just attack anytime an ally hits, which, I mean, that's 6 times per turn for 200% attack, and it will heal your ally, which is strong. It is strong. But I'm pretty sure I think he might, at the end of the day, I think he is maybe better than the person above him, but I guess that's interchangeable. So the next character I do have above him is Awakened Tornado. And let's just say, if your character does not have Unyielding and you're fighting an even level tornado, you're getting destroyed. And so another reason why I just put Awakened Tornado above Child Emperor is that, well, she's not a super rare plus, so it's not as hard to get her. And I mean, I think more people use Awakened Tornado than Child Emperor. And the people that do have both, they usually have Awakened Tornado higher. And she just does so much more. Well, not so much more than him per se, but she just does so much in general. Like, I think the tornado goes, oh, never mind. The tornado does not go first here. Let's just skip this and see if they have damage statistics on this. Can I not check the damage statistics? Who did the most? No. Okay, well, so if your character does not have Unyielding, the Awakened Tornado, her field damage is so insanely strong. 160, and it ignores a 50% chance to ignore immunity, and it goes on everybody. It gets a dot boost. Okay, so the initial hit does 150, okay, and then she grants dot boost damage, and then gives them dot boost or dot damage for 160. If you have her equipment, it's even stronger. She can remove sealed energy And it just doesn't. Oh wait, that removes sealed energy from the enemy team. I did not even realize that. Where's incoming dot into HP? Dang. She just does so much. If your characters do not have unyielding, they're getting one shot. There's no way. Like, at least with Child Emperor, if they survive the hit, they're done, right? They survive. But with Tornado, you don't know if your character's done or not until it lands on them. Because they'll get there, they go, and like the thing is, they can't even attack. Because it ticks them before they attack. Unlike actually no, all the things hurt them before they attack. But like, just burn does so much less. Like, corrosion does so much less. And I know Awakened Vaccine Man is basically the same exact thing as her. It's literally like the same exact thing. But he's just a different character. Like, there's better villains to use than Vaccine Man, but there's not characters on the heroes team that really do what Tornado does. And another reason why is there's just way less heroes that are espers, okay? So you can't really afford to put in a Vaccine Man if you're running Giro, or if you're running like Mosquito Girl. You can't really afford to fit Vaccine Man in. But no matter what, you can fit in a Tornado. That's why I think she's better than Vaccine Man, and maybe not better. I mean, high techs are also pretty scarce, but I think that Tornado is better because of how there's literally no other espers that heroes can use. People don't use King. People don't use normal Tornado. People are using Awakened Tornado. Alright, so the next character I have above Tornado at number 4, we are looking at Awakened Boros. And many of you maybe thought he was higher, or many of you think he might be too high. I don't think many of you think he's too high. You know what his ultimate does. You know what his keepsake ultimate does. It's just a one shot on 2 people, no matter what. If you have this guy at the same level as the enemy, it's a one shot on 2 people. His passive is bland. I mean, it's basically the same as normal Boros. You don't really need to max it out it doesn't really add much. With the 5 stars, all that changes is it's 80% 7 times, and with this 5 stars, it's 85% 8 times. I mean, if they want to kill him, they'll kill him. He can't really out-heal that. Healing's not a very amazing strategy anyways. But another thing that is insane is his SSR plus Awakened passive. It does so much damage. It tanks so much. And if you awaken it, you get 2 of them. You get 2 of them if you awaken it. That is nuts. That is actually insane. The tankiness that's available for your team it's just, there's so much he adds. He can heal himself, which is okay. It's not the main focus. The main focus of his kit is one-shotting 2 people, and even people with unyielding, and having tankiness I usually put him in the front, give him some front row tankiness, unless I'm fighting like Mosquito Girl or Sonic. I'll put him in the back and like help someone survive a lot, because it takes a lot of damage. And then it'll just blow up 3 people. Usually doesn't do that much. I find that Carnage does more usually compared to this, but I mean, this is taking damage from 3 people. This is taking damage on just himself. So this is very strong. Boros is just a very strong character. There's not much I really need to go into this. So the last character that I have as the highest character for his pure abilities is actually Awakened Sonic. And I'm not sure if he is better than Boros. I don't think he is. I don't know why I have him higher. But the main thing that I found with Sonic is that he outspeeds anyone. Okay? He just outspeeds anyone. And you don't even know when he's going to outspeed you because it doesn't tell you until the round starts. You'll think that you'll be fine, and then his passive activates and he's now the fastest character, and then he wipes anybody. His ultimate is Mosquito Girl but more. And it's Mosquito Girl, but it's basically guaranteed to attack first. So he can literally shut off any character, considering that one of the next two characters is not in the game. And I just found that out of like the characters in here, wrong place. Out of the characters like seen, Speed shows up everywhere, and he's always maxed everywhere he shows up, and it doesn't make sense because he's just so reliable at killing what he needs to kill, and it's hard to avoid it because he can literally one-shot anybody. You kind of just, whenever I go up against the Speed, I usually just have to feed him to somebody. I have to feed somebody to him because I need to get my Galewind procs off, and the only way to do that is to let Galewind survive, and the only way to let Galewind survive is to put fodder in the way. So that's why I put him at number 3. So now at number 2, we have a character that is indeed, which I think I put him here mainly for his core, and it is Giro for her core. Sorry, I put her mainly here for her core. I mean, this is all right. Like the stats are okay. It gives follow up attack to the strongest character. That's all right. The ultimate is pretty good. It takes max HP off of the enemies. That's pretty good. What's it called? They're pretty tanky. It adds a lot of extra tank to the team, but the core is the main reason I put it up here. That makes people so unkillable. It is insane. It makes people so unkillable. They add so much energy. It gives extra damage for turn 1. It's just so strong. You have to one-shot the enemy. You cannot chip them down. Because they get so much HP. Quadruples their max HP. 1 second. Alright, so as I was saying, it's just you can't one-shot or you have to one-shot people for Giro's teammates to die. But the reason why Giro is number 2 is because I have seen him really drop insanely, and a lot of you may know who caused that drop. And if you do know who caused that drop, you know who's number 1. But all in all, Giro completely controls the villain arena. If you're fighting someone with Giro and you don't have Giro, you lose. That's basically the end of the story. And now, at number 1, you guessed it, we indeed do have Bang Poo. Okay? And this doesn't matter. We don't care about heal rate. Heal doesn't really matter. This does good damage. We don't care about reducing heal rate, whatever. Agility, okay. Yep. Taking less incoming strikes, yep. Okay. Taking damage. He has revive, okay, whatever. Block rate 2 allies absorb direct damage up to 480% of max HP. Grants tenacity on all allies equal to 100% max HP for 3 turns. Now with Giro, at least you could do damage to them. At least you could do damage. And you could, like, at least try to whittle them down a little bit, okay? This, you just can't even hurt them. You can't even touch the enemy. No matter what, they don't take any damage at all. Everybody uses Banpu. And, you know, people, like, the little, look at, let's just watch, All My Mask doesn't do insane amount of damage, but let's just see his ultimate. So his ultimate goes off, and then he basic attacks people, and they take no damage. Awakened Tornado gets a turn, she hits them all, and they take a little bit of damage. Their shields aren't that broken, they still have shields. Just look at how much damage their shields are taking. It's surviving so much. I mean, imagine these characters just walking around with it. I mean, you can also see the Awakened Tornado stuff coming off right here at this point. I mean, you just saw that Awakened Tornado blast through Banpu's shields, yeah? And her field is just going to town on this. But look at this guy that's lower than him. Look at him try to break a single shield. He hasn't broken any shields yet. Like, the Banpu is so strong, you can't even hurt them. This guy never even had a chance. He didn't even break a single shield. They're all at max HP. It is just insanely strong. And even the dude that's whooping his Tukis the shields are still standing strong. Well, now they're not. But even the dude that was whooping him still had to fight a little bit to break through the shields, which is just insane. It's just insane how much the shields do. You can't touch anybody, and it really helps you build off of any of the other characters that were previously stated. They just go to town when they have the shields on and they can't take any damage. Even characters that aren't as good. I mean, some honorable mentions for the tier list. I do have Garo, the follow-up attacks, a lot of internal injury. Zombie Man's kind of close. He has a lot of revives. That's really about it for him. Child Prodigy is a pretty good early game core person, but that's about it. Metal Bat, if you have him boosted really high, his follow-up attacks are pretty strong. Flashy Flash is very good, but at the end of the day, that was well Vaccine Man, but at the end of the day, I'm a Mask too. Okay, but at the end of the day, those are the top characters in One Punch Man. So I'll go over it again for you guys just in case. At 10 we had Awakened Genos. 9 we had Mosquito Girl. 8 we had Galewind. 7 we had Watchdog Man. 6 we had Awakened Child Emperor. 5 we had Awakened Tornado. 4 we have Awakened Boros. 3 we have Speedo Sonic Awakened, and then 2 we have Giro, and 1 we have Banpu. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed. I hope you can use this to your advantage, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Shabang, shaboom, shapow. Have a wonderful day.